Welcome into another bowl preview over here on Power 5 Picks, brought to you by Better in Green. We are over to the Yankee Stadium, the Pinstripe Bowl between Boston College and Nebraska. Nebraska is a 4-point favorite. Over under of this game is 45.5. Again, make sure you do check out your own opt-outs. We're a couple days out, so it's not finalized who's playing, who's not, who's injured, who's not. So make sure you do check that out on your own. But from what I'm seeing, both teams are relatively healthy, I would say. I know there's been some turmoil or some turnover in Boston College quarterback room, but that has already been occurring for the regular season. So I don't think that's anything new. Nebraska, I think, maybe has a starting wide receiver transferring and potentially, I think, a linebacker as well. But yeah, make sure you do look it up yourself. This one is also another tricky one. I am also going to take a similar stance that I did in the previous video, the Fenway Bowl. If you want to check that one out, it is over on our page. But I'm also going to take the under in the Pinstripe Bowl of this game of 45.5 points. Just not sold on Nebraska at all. And then Boston College, I think, really struggles to score. I know they have had some high scoring contests, but I just think this is going to be more of a run heavy game between these two teams. Both teams love to run the ball. Obviously, Nebraska has a little Patty Mahomes 2.0, who has completely fallen off the face of the earth, like I predicted that Nebraska would. So that feels good. But he's just not a great quarterback. I think they're really going to focus on their run game today. And Boston College is much more of a run-heavy team. So I'm going to lean that both teams are going to run the ball. Also, like a similar stance to the Fenway Bowl, half the field is dirt. So that's always tough with the footing. Since it is played on an MLB baseball stadium. So I'm going to take the under. Don't love it. It's not anywhere near my favorite bet of the day. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. What are you leaning for in this game?
Yeah, I like Boston College plus the points, and I like this one quite a bit. Hand up, I was a little bit high on Nebraska entering the season. I wish I would have let you talk me off my rocker there because you were 100% correct on this Nebraska team. But it was really a tale of two seasons for them. Their first 6 games, 5-1. They were in the rankings. Potential to win the Big Ten. Last 6 games, 1-5. Outside of their win against Wisconsin when they put up 44 points, their highest scoring game was 20. So just a really bad end to the season for Nebraska. Like you said, all the hype fell off. You haven't heard about Nebraska or Raiola really in the last 2 months probably. And then Boston College, they're kind of on the other end of the spectrum. They started off well, 4-1 before dropping 3 straight to go to 4-4. But then they did fight back, win 3 of their final 4 games. And their only loss was SMU, who is, just recently eliminated from the college football playoff. So they finished strong. They beat Syracuse, who we just talked about. They're playing in a bowl game today as well. North Carolina also playing in a bowl game. And then Pittsburgh playing in a bowl game later on. So 3 teams with decent seasons that they were able to beat late in their schedule. Just don't know how much Nebraska cares about this one. I think they're just ready to move on to next year. I do still have faith in Raiola that he will be a better quarterback than what he was able to show this year. And I think Nebraska knows that. I think they're just ready to get this one behind them and try to be more competitive in the Big Ten next year. So give me Boston College. I like it quite a bit. More of a fade on Nebraska here. But yeah, really just like the way Boston College finished their season and not a fan of how Nebraska finished theirs.
Yeah, I don't need an arm twist or anything to fade Nebraska. So I do like Boston College. Probably I might switch to that, but I'll keep the under just because I do think it is going to be a low scoring contest. But yeah, I do like that bet in Boston College. But that's going to do it, boys. We do have much more bowl previews later today. We have a lot more bowl games today, as well as much bigger and better games coming early next week, including the college football playoff. We will be previewing and giving our bets for every single bowl game this season, no matter how big or how bad the games are. So make sure you do stay tuned for our page. Please like, subscribe, even comment. We really appreciate it, and it helps us continue to do this. But until then, guys, good luck with your bets, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you guys.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover old spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt. shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast. Better in green.